Welcome to one of the toughest tasks in maintenance, pressure washing the loading dock and the outdoor brake area. To get started, the first thing you need to do is go to a manager or supervisor and get the key. Some of the optional accessories that you might need are hat and sunglasses, as well as shoe covers. I like to recycle the shoe covers, hence the way they look. Here's how the shoe covers look. Now go ahead and open up the loading dock door. In the summer, the best time to do this task is probably in the morning to avoid the heat. Now you're going to take your keys, you're going to go ahead and walk out towards the cage by the basketball court and unlock it. Inside of the cage, you're going to find everything you need for pressure washing: the pressure washer, the hose, and the gas can. Everything should be stored properly in the pressure washer area: the pressure washer, the gas can, and the hose. Take out all these components and lay the hose across the loading dock like so. Ensure that there are no kinks along the hose. Then take the male end of the hose and you're going to connect that to the pressure washer on the female end, like so. Now you're going to use two hands and hand tighten the connections. Once you have that tightened up, you want to open up the gas cap. Then you want to grab the gas tank and put the spout into the gas tank. The spout has a safety that needs to be pressed and released, like so. Then press the safety against the lip of the tank and pour, like so. Once the gas is filled up, go ahead and close the tank. Now that you have connected the hose and you have gassed up the pressure washer, you are ready to start it up. Now follow the hose and inspect for kinks. The hose needs to run all the way to the IMAX dishwasher. Here, you will connect the female end to the spigot. Turn the connector clockwise until fully seated. Hang the hose on the shelf next to the spigot in order to avoid water running onto the floor. Now fully turn on the water. Follow the hose back to the pressure washer, inspecting for leaks and kinks. Now turn on the pressure washer power switch. Pull the trigger on the gun to release some of the water. This will relieve pressure on the system and make it easier to pull the start cord. Now pull the start cord. It might take a few tries to get the motor to turn over. Once the motor turns over and the pressure washer has started, press the trigger on and off a few times to prime the pump. Once the pump is primed, you're going to have full pressure. One of the first areas you want to tackle is the eating area. You want to get the table, you want to get the benches, and you want to get the grounds all around. Try to be as thorough as possible on the tabletop and get all the food and gunk off. Be sure to pressure wash underneath the tabletop and the benches in order to destroy all the safe havens for bugs. Be sure also to spray the grounds all around the table and along the walls. Next, you want to go inside of the receiving area and you want to spray down the carpets. Spray down both carpets as thoroughly as possible. You want to use a sweeping motion and you want to push all the water as much as possible off the dock. Then you want to pressure wash all the walkways, especially near the entrance door. And then you want to get the steps and rails as much as possible. You will need to move the pressure washer to the lower area of the loading dock in order to get the areas around the trash compactor. The best way to do so is to lift it off of the loading dock by yourself or with another person. Or you can also slowly take it down the steps. You need to clean these areas around the compactor. I normally start on the right side of the compactor. You want to clean the compactor as well as underneath the compactor. You want to use sweeping motions to push debris like a blower towards the back wall. You may have to concentrate pressure on some of the grime you're going to encounter. Push as much debris towards the receiving area of the loading dock. You also want to pressure wash the gunk between the grills of these drains in order to avoid future clogs. Also try to pressure wash all the gunk off of the compactor and off of the walls along the loading dock. Next, you want to pull the pressure washer as far from the loading dock as possible without putting too much strain on the hose. In this area, you will use the pressure washer as a blower to blow all the debris towards the parking lot. Use a sweeping motion as you go to move the debris towards the walls. From there, you will blow it into the street. Concentrate the pressure washer on caked on dirt and grime. Next, you want to concentrate on the steps, rails, and exit of Dolby. Try to blow as much debris as you can towards the parking lot. If you have the time, take all the whales in one area, tip them over, and clean them out. Over time, the whales build up a lot of gunk, and this attracts ants and other insects. Be thorough and clean the whales out as much as possible. Now use your sweeping motion to move all the debris and gunk that you've collected throughout all your cleaning towards the corner of the receiving area. Be sure to be thorough around the compactor where gunk builds up over time, attracting rodents and insects. Now push all your debris towards the corner of the lower loading dock. You want to continue cleaning those grates as you go. So after cleaning all around and pushing all the debris as much as possible into the corner, you need to clean up all of the trash. Since you're gonna have to clean up the trash, you might as well throw away the trash at the eating area. It's going to be a lot easier to clean up the trash with a rolling trash can. There's one located next to the basketball court. Wheel it over to the dock. You can also make your life a lot easier by using the shovel to pick up the trash. It's located on the right side of the dock door. Now roll the trash can down the steps and prepare yourself for the dirty work. As you can see, shoveling the debris makes things a lot easier. Once you're done cleaning up the trash, you can go ahead and start turning off the water and taking apart your pressure washing system. If you don't want water spraying all over the place, you might want to relieve pressure at the pressure washer before doing this. As you can see, I don't mind getting wet, but this is exactly what happens when you don't relieve pressure. Now you want to shake out the head as much as possible and hold it upright as you walk back to the loading dock. Once you get out to the loading dock, you can let go of the head and let it drop down below. This will allow all the water to drain. Now you need to go down to the pressure washer and disconnect the other side of the hose. Disconnecting might be a lot easier if you first relieve pressure by holding down the trigger. Here I demonstrate the proper way to wind up the hose. You don't want to have any tangles or kinks in the hose when you put it away, otherwise the weather could cause damage to it. You want to wind up the hose using your foot to control the windings. In the end, your windings should be coiled like a snake and look something like this. Perfect. Once you have your hose coiled up perfectly, you want to grab the coil and walk it over to the cage. You want to keep in mind that the hose is susceptible to weather, and you want to make sure that you keep it in a shaded area, like so. Now you want to put your gas can away. Make sure you also put this in a shaded area, like so. Now you need to coil up your gun hose. You don't have to disconnect anything. Just coil it around the pressure washer. Make sure there are no kinks. Now grab the entire pressure washer and bring it up the stairs. You're going to bring the pressure washer into the cage. Make sure you keep it as far into the shade as possible. Once you have everything put away, you want to go ahead and close and lock the cage. Once you got the cage closed and locked, you want to throw out all of the trash. And since you're throwing out all the trash, you'll want to put in new liners in all of the cans. If there are no new liners at the loading dock, you might want to put a roll at the shelf nearby. Make sure that you are also doubling up on the liners. Stuff can really get heavy. Some incredible memories have been made right here. Make sure to put the trash can back in its place. Now go ahead and put all the whales back in their place. Throw all the trash into the compactor. Go ahead and compact the trash. Tidy up any loose ends. This is how the loading dock should look, clean and beautiful. The crew can enjoy their breaks in a nice clean place, and you can savor in a sense of accomplishment. Puente Hills Maintenance, the best in the West. Now close up that loading dock door and get ready for the next project. This concludes the pressure wash tutorial. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.